Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weightedtowin, and it's a good weekend. Of course, we've got Calvin Habib with us. We've been promoting that. Calvin will join us, both Darryl and Daryn. And so from the team, Calvin, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, and yeah, hopefully we can find some winners.
Darryl and Daryn, you'll know Calvin, obviously his dad, Donovan, when Donovan was riding, and rode a lot of winners too, Donovan, in his time. And I'm sure you'll know the family well, Calvin being related to Barty, Leisha, Derek, David, Calvin. I mean, to quite a few of the guys that are riding at the moment. So, you know, as far as talent is concerned, there's no shortage, Darryl.
Yeah, Clyde, I don't think the apple fell far from the tree with regards to Calvin and his dad, because whatever Donovan swung his leg over, he gave it his all. It was a trio of notes, and you're always going to get a run for your money. A very good lightweight jockey. And yeah, I miss him in the saddle. I backed a good few winners with Calvin's dad in the irons.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Very good judge too. And Daryn, I was thinking of also Devon Habib, of course. That's the name that eluded me. But Daryn, it's good to have the guys on our show, just to get a different perspective, you know, as to how they see things, map him out, etc.
Yes, it's awesome to have guys like Calvin on the show and other jockeys as well. I remember Donovan Habib. He was a very good rider back in the day. I was still young then, but he rode plenty winners.
You're still young now.
Calvin, yes, Calvin's doing really well. Last season, he had a great season, his first grade 1 winner. And I hope that you go from strength to strength.
Calvin, thank you for that, Daryn. Calvin, just to talk to you, you're out of action. Some people may or may not know, but you had a nasty fall. I think it was on the 1st of August on that horse, 5th of July. Am I correct?
Yes, it was. It was actually my first ride of the season, and yeah, look, unfortunately it happened, and you know, some things are out of our control, and look, you know, we're taking it, we're taking it lightly, and you know, look, as I said, like, everything happens for a reason, and you know, I'm enjoying the recovery. I'm trying to, you know, just sort of, how can I say it, you know, improve on certain things that I thought needed tweaking, and yeah, look, you know, the mental, I'm just trying to improve on the mental game. Obviously at the moment, my physical, like with my back, I can't do much, but you know, just the mental side of it, I'm just trying to be strong, and yeah, look, I'm hoping to be back in the saddle soon.
Darryl and Daryn, did you guys see the fall? I saw it. It was I was horrified by what I saw. I don't know if you guys saw the fall.
No falls, nice, Clyde, but yeah, it was horrible to watch, to witness. Reminds me a bit of the Paul Peter horse, Majestic Mambo. Calvin was moving with quite a bit in hand, and just clipped heels, it looked like, and with no gap in front of him, unfortunately. And at that speed, it could end up disastrous, like we've seen happen in the past. But thankfully, Calvin's still with us, and he'll bounce back stronger. So we just wish him well in his recovery.
And Calvin, so the diagnosis ultimately, because I see, maybe you want to stand up slightly for the viewers just to see, you're wearing a brace at the moment, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes, so I got a back brace on, obviously to support the back and just to restrict the movement too much, because the doctors don't really want me to move around too much, because I fractured 2 vertebrae in my back, T11 and T12. But look, you know what, luckily there's no pain anymore. The first 2 weeks there was a bit of pain, but there's no pain. Just doing some, you know, some treatments like hyperbaric chamber and some physio. So, look, it's all going well at the moment, and I'm not too sure how long I'll still be out for. I'm hoping, call it 3 to 4 weeks, but look, I'll just let my body tell me when I'm ready. And no, I just got to thank God, because He was definitely with me that day. It was a nasty fall, and it could have gone a lot worse. So I'm just happy to still be here.
I can imagine at the time, I mean, your father, Donovan, and your mother, Amanda, and Chandre, they must have been, you know, it's as Darryl and Daryn quite rightly say, you know, fall to see it and not hear what's going on is probably the most testing time of your life. But as you say, thank God you're back on your feet, and hopefully you'll be back in the saddle. Am I right? You went through James Maree School. The academy at first rejected you. Am I correct?
Yes. The academy initially said that I was sort of going to grow to be a little bit too tall, and I was going to be able to manage my weight. So I ended up going through Mr. Maree's course, and I was there for about a year. And look, I learned a lot from him, and he's a great teacher, and he teaches you the basics, and obviously you adapt your own style. But yeah, look, I started out by him, and then I rode in the work rider course, the races, for also about a year, and I rode 9 winners out of about 55 rides. And then the academy approached me and asked me to check my weight, and everything was right at the time, and I've managed to keep it well. And yeah, look, it's a dream come true. Obviously, as you said before, it's in the blood, and yeah, from a very, very young age, I always wanted to be a jockey. So living the dream, even though that, it comes with these risks, but we know what it's about, and just put our faith in God that He'll keep us safe and bring us back safe. And as I say, I'm living my dream and loving it.
A name under your spell, I'm sure, is a big deal in your life nowadays. That was she your first Group 1?
Yeah, she was my first. I ridden a couple of graded races, but she was my first Grade 1, and another dream come true. And she's a special filly, and I knew I wanted her at the Vol. I want to list it on her a couple of months before, and I said to Mr. Terry, I said she gives me an amazing feel, and I said to him, I think she'll go right to the top. And I was just lucky enough to be a boarder that day, and just lucky enough to get the support that I did.
Absolutely. Good to see Sean supporting you. On that note, Lyle Hewitson, was he in your year when you qualified? Or not?
Lyle was a year behind me. We rode in the work riders together, and we actually had our first rides together as work riders, and then he landed up finishing school and then come into the academy. I did my schooling in the academy, so I was a year ahead of him, but yeah, he finished 1 year after me.
And Daryn, just to ask you, have you ever been to Bahrain, Daryn, by any chance?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
Calvin's been there. He rode successfully in Bahrain. That was a good stint there, Calvin. You seem to come back with I spoke to some of your agents, Frankie, Gary, some of the guys that worked with you. You come back with a lot of confidence since Bahrain. And I don't know.
It was a good learning curve for me. And I think, you sort of, I threw myself in the deep end. I came straight out of the academy, and I went overseas, and I was all alone. I didn't have a riding master or anyone with me. So you learn to mature. You ride with, I was lucky enough to ride with world-class riders like Frankie Dettori, who else? So another couple of, I rode with Oisin Murphy, a couple of the big names, they over and they ride for the Sheik. So you get to ride with them, and you learn a little bit from them, and different tracks, different horses. So yeah, look, it was a good learning curve for me. I think I went a little bit too young. I wanted to come back and be with the family a bit, but it was a very good learning curve, and I enjoyed it. And as you say, look, I did come back with a lot of confidence, and I got a good team behind me, always helping me, always wanting to improve. So it's a team effort, but as you say, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I've got.
Excellent. It's great to have you with us. Thank you very much. I know we asked you to study the card, and we hope to see you back in the saddle. Maybe there's some horses in here, that you rode, that you can perhaps give your opinion on, that the guys will ask you about as well. But let's start up with, if I may, just to remind everybody about our disclaimer on our show. And that was the Group 1 victory that Calvin will never forget, with Chandra in shot there. And that's, of course, what it looks like when you end up winning Group 1 glory. Great memories. The Turffontein race meeting, there are 2 scratches that we've got for you that you can see on screen. That's all we have, race 2 and race 5. Please remember to update. On the note of Lyle Hewitson, I also engaged with him. He is going to be riding from his COVID, his response. We have recovered well. So that's good to know that they are well and healthy again, and they will be back in the saddle. It's the inside track at Turffontein on Saturday. The false rail set up at 2.5 meters. And I'm going to start, if I may, with Darryl here in the opening leg of the pick 6, where they bet lights camera at 5-2. And just looking at the field, Darryl, I thought it was particularly a very weak maiden plate, and it would be this time of the year naturally. And no surprise to see a first timer, to be honest, top of the boards.
Absolutely. I think you've been kind of there by saying it's weak, Clyde. It's below moderate. That's the exposed form. And for that reason only, if the 11 lights camera has any sort of ability about her, I think she'll take some beating. But with regards to, I think you need to monitor the betting. My dogs are going mad over here.
Yeah, the dogs are barking again. Every time a dog's
The
bark,
dogs
their
are
horse
barking.
wins. You know that,
Dogs
eh?
are barking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan was a 3-time winner between 1450 and a mile. Just monitor the betting. If you got a chance, log on to Interbet and follow the volume traded, because that could tell a story on its own. But at this stage, we don't know if she's fancied. So for that reason, we've included number 1, Lil Wahoo. Now, last time out, she ran second in the work riders, but she has run second on this inside track with Muzi in the past. So of the exposed runners, she's probably the leading light. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this 11 win, even if unfancied.
Okay, Daryn, what's your take on it?
Well, I see it as a very, very weak race. And I'm actually surprised the 11 lights camera is 5-2 in the market. We're going to have to monitor the betting closely. If there's late money race time when they go to start and she shortens 16-10, then she's the right horse. But I am a little bit worried that she's 5-2. Her pedigree is very good, and the quality she takes on is very moderate, and she's got a decent draw as well. So I do believe she's the horse to beat. Over the next 2 in the market, Lil Wahoo, who has run well on the inside track, and she also has a good draw. And then Red Hot, who was a little bit disappointing in her last start, but she looks the best of the rest in a very moderate field.
Okay, Calvin, if I can bring you in, do you know anything about lights camera by any chance or not?
No, unfortunately, I do not. But as the team has said, it does look like quite a weak race. And look, I think, as you say, I don't think the field has to be too great to. I mean, the first time it doesn't have to be too great to beat this field. But look, I would definitely include Lil Wahoo and Red Hot. I'd sort of scratched the run before the last run with Red Hot. Before that she was quite consistent, and I think if anything, I think I'd rather go with Red Hot and also add Lil Wahoo, because being first time on the inside track can sometimes catch them out, but I mean she doesn't have to be nothing special to beat this horse, but to beat this field. But I think probably either those one of those 3.
Calvin, I'll stay with you because we'll go to race 5 now and have a look at this maiden plate. It's over the 1450 meters. Number 4, Wave Warriors, top of the boards at 16-10. But you have some sort of input here in terms of that horse, Top Wesselton. If I recall correctly, you rode when he won. I see a successful ruler on his last start, ran second on that occasion. Are those facts correct?
Yes, that is correct. I did win on Top Wesselton, and he's come out to win again, straight out the maiden. So, look, I think the form line is a bit strong there, and I did definitely include Successful Ruler, because I thought it was a nice win by my horse. He was still very green and he ran around, and as I said, he came out to win another race. So I would definitely include him. But look, also another strong race, but I definitely include Mr. Pettigrew's horse. Last time fought the rider a little bit, but got a better draw today, and they went back to the 1450 instead of the 1600. And I think it'll be those 2 fighting it out.
Okay, so Daryn, let me ask you about Admiral Dooley, who from a consistency perspective, he does look when you look at the form, he looks the horse to beat. What's your first choice, Daryn?
My first choice is going to have to be Wave Warrior. I just think he's got the come-on look about him. He's got a lovely pedigree, and his last run behind Mitch Got His Wish. Mitch Got His Wish actually brought some decent form into the race, running off some decent sorts. And Wave Warrior matched him all the way, only to get beaten a length and a quarter. So he will be my narrow first choice over the older horse, Successful Ruler, who actually looked like a winner at the 200 meter mark last time, and then got collared late again by Top Wesselton. So he should be right there. Slings and Arrows, he goes up in trip. He hasn't rounded his races off of late. He seems to travel really well going through the 400. and then get run out of it. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes over the 1450. And then Admiral Dooley, I do like the fact that they dropped him back to the 1450, and he has to go into all bets.
And Darryl, your first choice?
Yeah, Clyde, I'm very bullish on the favorite of year, Wave Warrior. I like the fact that Moosey's obviously got to know him in the race last time out. And I think Moosey is going to pull the button a little, pull the trigger a little bit sooner now, because he didn't have an instant turn of foot in his last start. I think Moosey got to know him, and that he quickens, but he didn't turn it on instantly. So I think Moosey is going to ask him to go a little bit sooner at the top of the straight. And I think, like Daryn touched on, he's got the come on look about him, and he's ready to win over here. I think he'll take a lot of beating. For me, I make the Danger, the second horse in the betting over the Slings and Arrows. I thought in his third start, he made good progress from his second start, because in his second start, he had some poor horses in and around him. And in his third start, he put 5.5 lengths between him and the third place runner. The Dam, I don't know if you remember her. I'm sure you do. Happy Archer. Very, very decent in her day. She actually won over 10 furlongs, so he's going to appreciate the step up in trip. I think those two will fight it out. But I believe with Wave Warrior having the experience around the bend, and with Moosey knowing him better, I think he'll take a lot of beating over here.
So you're quite bullish on Wave Warrior. How bullish are you then when it comes to the sixth race? I mean, they got this horse Flinders Range at 16-10. Would you be taking 16-10 about this horse?
He's been very costly to follow in the past, Clyde. But the race is thin. The race is very thin. I don't think anybody's going to jump in at that price. But it's all dependent on the first timer. We've seen some anti-post money for it, Shangani, a lovely name. But he's by a speed sire, and the Dam stayed all day, and he's debuting over a mile. So I don't know if that suggests that he's not showing the speed back home, and he's possibly going to be a stayer in time to come. So I'm leaning towards the race runners of here. Flinders Range, like I said, he's cost the punters a lot of money in the past, but his last run was solid enough to give him winning claims over here. And then the filly, Scotadito. I like the fact that she showed a lot of pace on debut. I know she's held by Flinders Range, but that was her debut effort. And you know, if you show pace on the inside track, it can only be a positive. And if she's come on since that run, getting her 6 allowance, I wouldn't be shocked to see her reverse that form with Flinders Range. I believe it lies between the top two in the betting.
Okay, on that basis, I'll bring Daryn in here. Daryn, do you agree that it's, well, if the first timers know that it's those two?
Yes, for sure. I see there is money for the first timer. I saw it at 4-1 when I last looked. Now it's 5-2. Like Darryl said, a soft-walling rain out of a staying mare that stayed 3,200 meters. So they are debuting him over a mile, obviously looking for a lot further. Flinders Range, he's had 10 starts in the maiden, and he still hasn't cracked it. His worst runs were over the mile. His best form was over 1,400 meters. The mile on the inside track could be like a 14 on the stand side, but he's very costly to follow. He's got to go in. He's a big runner, but yeah, it's very hard to say that 16-10 is the right price. I think maybe race time 5-2 is more like it. Scotadito, very good debut performance. She's back only a couple of days later. She ran 2 lengths behind Flinders Range on that occasion, and with 54 kilos, I think that she can reverse the form over the mile for the first time. The dark horse in the race is Indian War Dance, who's only had 3 starts. He was 3 lengths off Flinders Range and 2 lengths or a length off Scotadito last time out, with the blinkers for the first time there, and I think he could run into the trifecta.
Okay, so that's an interesting outsider. Calvin, just to bring you in here with regards to this race, when you look at the form, Flinders Range being exposed and having run as well and as consistently as he has, but as the guys have said, perhaps costly, you know, you question whether you want to have another go or not, but certainly maybe a safe betting bar pots, etc. But the filly, who wasn't far behind him in that when they met the last time they met, one would assume has got maybe more improvement to come. Scotadito.
Yes, no, definitely. Yes. Scott Adito, I definitely think should definitely have come on from the first run. Got a nice draw, good weight, and yeah, look, I think she'll turn the form around. She has to have come on from the first run. I mean, you know, to run that close first time out, I think it was a very good run. And as you say, the favourites had his chances, and I think the form's exposed, but I think the Scott Adito is the horse to beat in this race.
All right, then, Cal, I'll stay with you for race 7, and where Worship's top of the board here at 22 to 10. But I like this horse number 4. Personally, I like Peyton's Pride. It's a graduation plate that we're looking at fillies and mares. So it's a small field. But in the debutante, when you have a look at that run, maybe going into Durban could have been overwhelming for her, etc. But I think you were on Auntie Liz in the debutante stakes that day. And it wasn't, I think, a few days ago that we saw Auntie Liz come out and win.
Yes, look, there was a very strong race. I think, as you said, look, Gravel's a very testing track, especially for any horse, even if they have in their second run or their first run, or even if they just go in there and they've had a couple of runs. It's a very testing track. It's turning quite a bit all the way, and then the straight comes at you quite quickly. So a lot of horses can get lost. I am in the camp of big eyed girl. I think she's a very nice filly. I've sat on her back at home for Mr. Fontaine, and I liked it quite a lot. I am a little bit concerned about the 1200, but I mean, she's got good draw. Gavin jumps back her border, and he knows it quite well. He's won on her. And look, I think, I also think Worship's definitely got a good chance in this race. Look, last time she won it off the objection, but I think winning now would give her the confidence definitely to come on from the run.
Okay, so your first choice then, Big Eyed Girl in the race.
Yes.
Let me bring Daryn in. Daryn, let's talk about this graduation plate. It's a small field, but it does seem fairly competitive.
Yes, I think they've got the betting spot on here. Besides Worship, I don't think she should be favourite. I believe that Peyton's Pride is the horse to beat. She won a fantastic race on debut over the course and distance. It wasn't a strong race that day, but she won going away comfortably. And then you can put a line through her last run behind Maree. I'm not too sure what happened to her, but she's a lot better than that on her debut performance. Big Eyed Girl, she's very speedy, and I was just concerned about the 1200 meter trip, but it is on the inside track and she's drawn 1, so hopefully she can stay on at the finish. And then a horse like Freed from Desire, if you take away her last run where she was even money favorite, she ran 3 lengths off Desert Miracle and only a neck behind Eternity Ring, and on that sort of form it brings her right into the race with a big chance.
Okay, it's interesting you spot her, because Darryl, she on plated race conditions, she's from a rating perspective, she's she would be the best weighted.
Yeah, Clyde, she comes on top of here, but they are lightly raced fillies. You can't read too much into them because they're still improving. But yes, on rating, she's certainly in with a lively chance. My concern with Big Eyed Girl is she's got breathing noises, and it's been reported in the past. So I'm not too sure if we know she's lightning quick out the pens, but I'm sure Gavin would love to reserve something in the tank for that final furlong. I've got my doubts over her getting the 6 furlongs, although it is an easy 6 on the inside track. I prefer others over here. And just like Daryn likes Peyton's Pride, I don't really like her. I guess this game's all about opinions. I believe it's a two-horse race. I like Worship and Freed from Desire. Now, Worship, we know she's got pace as well, but I think this race is going to be perfectly set up for her. She comes out alongside Big Eyed Girl, and the jockey can just slot in behind her and get the perfect toe through. I really believe this race is going to run to suit her, and I think she's got enough ability about her to go back-to-back, albeit last time she won it in the boardroom. Now, Freed from Desire, just put a line through her last start. She's obviously much better than that. She had valid excuses, and you'd give her a very, very big chance of you. I think those are the two to fight it out. I think Peyton's Pride, although Daryn did touch on, she beats a very, very weak field. I think the 6 furlongs on the inside track against much stronger is going to find her out. If it was a 1450 or a mile, I'd certainly give her much stronger claims than what I do over the 6 furlongs. So for me, Worship from Freak from Desire.
Okay, 2 and 6 in that particular event at Plated. Now we go to a handicap, and this is at the 88 level. It's run over the 1450 meters, and the market here does show that number 1, Captain Hindsight, is top of the boards at 2 to 1. We'll ask Calvin about him because he's ridden him a few times. But Darryl, whilst you're on air, it's being the final leg of the jackpot. It does, again, in the handicap, does seem to be quite competitive. I mean, it's not one particular horse that I could label here. They all got to go in.
Very competitive, Clark. Captain's Hindsight, they stepped him up to the 7 furlongs last time out. He was very gutsy on that occasion, and he fought them off, and he wasn't stopping. So this 1450 on the inside track will certainly not be a problem for him. The stable's in good form. He's racing fit. He's got 4 kilograms off his back. He's definitely got winning claims of year. I don't believe it's a 2 to 1 shot. I think there might be a switch around in betting of year, but I do give him winning claims. Now, Ballon d'Or last time out, he never got to the front, and I believe he's most effective when he goes up handy. Now he's back on the inside track, and I do believe that Lyle from that draw is going to, if he breaks well, he'll certainly take it up. And it will be no surprise to see him put that below par effort last time out on the stand side track behind him and bounced back to best of the year. Out of very competitive field, I'm leaning towards number 2, Dark Tide. He's very, very consistent. I think the dropping trip's going to suit him. They go a little bit quicker over the 1450 than what they do in the mile. Last time I'd say he was doing it a bit hard. And in his penultimate start, he ran with the blinkers. Just excuse him for that start and look at his form. He's ultra consistent, and I'm expecting another bold showing on his behalf. And you can't write off the likes of Banner Bridge and Back to Black. And if you go in 5, you may as well go 6, and that's what we've done in the pick 6.
Yeah, you got in the field, right? So Daryn, my personal first choice is Back to Black. I mean, Darryl made reference to him, and I think he's the kind of horse on the handicap, where he's been consistently a 79 for a while. He's come into a 7. What's he now? 70. He's dropped a pound or 2. Maybe in this sort of race, he might have a chance.
Yes, he's definitely got a chance in this sort of lineup. We have chosen to go the field in the pick 6. Captain Hindsight, with the 4 kilos off his back, it makes him very well in at the weights with a couple. So Captain Hindsight, who tried the 1400 meter trip for the first time last time out on the stand side track, and he saw it out winning going away. So he will be my first choice over Dark Tide. Over the 1450, a couple of runs back, he got beaten neck by Royal Wolf, very highly thought of. He got beaten length by the Contractor, and on that run, he's 2 kilos better off with Ballon d'Or for a length beating. So it brings them right next to each other on form. And then Back to Black, also most effective over the 1450, getting beat half a length by Seaways. And Banner Bridge coming back after a little bit of a break after he won on the poly last time out. He would have preferred a decent pace on. I'm not sure if he's going to get it here, but he'll be staying on late.
Okay, so all right, so I think we agree open. Calvin, so sorry, we're leaving you for last for this one, just to get some info on Captain Hindsight, who you partnered with for quite a long time.
Yes, look, I think he's a big runner, yeah. When I ran second to Royal Wolf, I came back and I spoke to Andrew and Ashley, and we all decided, okay, 1400 is his game now. Obviously, he was doing well over the 1200s, and we said, you know what, he's looking for a little bit further, so let's throw him over. And they showed just that when he won over the 1400 last time. I think he's a very nice horse. I was actually at the tracks this morning. I had a look at him. He's well. I've spoken to the apprentice and just giving him a bit of an insight on what the horse's little quirks and whatever like that. But he's quite an easy ride. I think he's well in at the weights. And look, it is a competitive field, but I think he can go back to back. Yeah.
Okay, so you got a bit of confidence in him in terms of that he's the type of horse that can certainly produce. He's not, whatever happens, don't leave him out of your play. Okay, so thanks for that, Calvin. The 9th race, the final leg of the pick 6, where we got Riverstown, top of the board's a favourite here at 17-10. It's number 1 on the card. And then you've got the 2 Approach Control at 33-10. Studying the form, I thought it was those two. I'll start, if I may, here. In this case, I'll bring Daryn in here. And let's talk a little bit about Riverstown, Daryn, because I know you've liked him before.
Yes, he's a really smart horse, this. He lost his way a little bit, but it was so encouraging to see him come back and win, full of running last time out, beating Full Velocity, who came out to win again. He's course and distance suited. He loves the 1450 on the inside track. He's got a widest draw, but he likes to run handy. Hopefully Gavin can get him over to the front or second, and he's got an elastic action, and I think he'll outsprint them going through the final 300 meters. So for me, Riverstown, the best bet on the card. I think he'll take a lot of beating. My second choice is Approach Control. He's also got a touch of class about him and not too much separating them in the past. And for third, I think Trendmaster, who would be much better over a longer distance. He'll be running on late for the minor money.
Okay, so you're big on Riverstown. Darryl, your take, also big on Riverstown, or what's your deal there?
Yeah, Clyde, I think the race lies between the top two, but I think with Riverstown having that extra run under his belt, whereas Approach Control is returning from a 56-day layoff, I think fitness-wise, I'm leaning towards Riverstown. In the penultimate start, Approach Control has got him held, but I think Riverstown ran a little bit below par on that occasion, and I'm expecting him to reverse that form. Now, these two are certainly course and distance suited. Riverstown's got a distinct liking for this inside track. Just go back to his form on this inside track. He won and he ran a place in the Joburg Spring Challenge. That's a grade 2, if I'm not mistaken. And he actually broke through the pens on that occasion and he ran to a rating of 117. Now he's off a mark less than what he won his last start on the inside track. I think he'll take a lot of beating. And no harm in Gavin getting to know him last time out in a race. It was the first time he sat on him, and he knows more about him now. I think he'll take a lot of beating, Approach Control to chase him home, and then you can possibly focus on the Michael Azzi inmates for the trifectas and quartets.
Yeah, funny enough, I remember this horse, Riverstown, when I called that horse Kaching. What was that horse of Sean Terry's that won in the commentary? We went Kaching. That horse, forgive me now, I can't remember his name. But he ran, I don't think his form has got it exposed, or does it? Maybe it does. Maybe we'll find it that way. No, it doesn't. But ultimately, he was running on the inside track. So he's certainly got to have a big chance. So you like him too. Calvin, would you also favour Riverstown here?
Yes, I do think it's between the top two, weight and betting. But Riverstown won a very good race last time. I was in the race when that race that he won, and he was just always in control. And when Gavin, he jumped out, he led, and when he asked the question, he responded immediately. And I think he's a very nice horse. He's run to very good horses in the past, and as the team has said, he's dropped in the rating, and he does love the inside track. I think the race is going to suit him quite well, and I am leaning towards him. Okay,
so Riverstown quite bullish for a lot of the guys, and let's take, whilst we look at that, we'll have a look quickly at the exotics that will show you the bipot and your pick 6 numbers as well. So there we go. We'll have a look at those. That comes up on the screen at this point in time. There are 12 Rand bipot the guys have worked out, and then your pick 6 as 129 Rand 60 for 10%. Then the next one you guys have worked out is, Daryn, your play of the day. You've got a 9-2 double at Turffontein.
Yes, my best 2 bets on the card, Riverstown race 9, number 1. I'm very confident he'll win. He's in form. He looks to be back to his best, and off his current rating of 106, I make him hard to beat. And then in race 3, number 5, About to Storm, who debuted really smartly over the 1,000-meter trip and bred for further. He's going to enjoy the 1,200-meter trip. He was running on really strongly at the finish last time out, and the form was franked. And his immediate danger is Meteoric, who's very limited, and I believe about to storm will be hard to beat.
Okay, those are Darren's best bets and double. Darryl, your play, you want to start early, I see, because we asked Wayo about his horses, and he gave us an answer that one's a sprinter, the other one's a miler.
Yeah, Clyde, a little bit disappointing to take notes of that, but nonetheless, I'm very bullish on number 5 in the first, Emerald Princess. I thought that was a sparkling debut, and the horses with the racing experience finished hard up against the outside, and Emerald Princess got the better of a Mark the Cock inmate, who was heavily supported on that occasion. The horse that ran fourth was beaded gown. There was over 600 grand traded on her on Interbet. So she was expected to give a bold showing on debut, and Emerald Princess got the better of her in the latter stages. I know this distance might be a little bit short of her best in time to come, but I do believe her class will bring her through. I don't like the look of the second favorite. She never caught my eye in the canter pass last time out. I don't think there's much substance about her. I'm very concerned about the form line that's of Magic to the 4. And for that reason, I'm very, very bullish. And you know what? Wayo's in form. So that certainly doesn't harm when you back in a horse from a stable that's showing good form currently. And then my double is with Wave Warrior. There's no doubts about it. He's ready to win his maiden now. Moosey's going to hopefully push the butts in a little bit sooner, and I think we'll get the money come tomorrow.
Okay, let's hope that we do. The weighted to win double from Darryl and Daryn, Wave Warrior being one of them at 16-10, and Riverstown being the other at 17-10. And again, if you ask for the stretch, you know, who knows, maybe there'll be one or two that do drift of the two, but at the moment you should get around 7-1, the weighted to win double. And then Calvin, there's a look at yours. I just want to take care of that if I can. There's a look at your selections for Saturday. And you're also having a go quite early, I see.
Yes, I think the filly made a very good debut. As the team has said, that there was some support for some first time for the Mark the Cock runner in that race, and Warship ended up winning the race. And I think it was a very good run. She was running on strongly on the inside. And look, the field looks quite weak, and I think it's the right race for her.
And you've got some value coming up in the 6th and the 8th, if you must take note of.
Yes, in race 6, number 7, I think she made a very nice debut, and yeah, I think it's a value for the money. And yeah, Captain Hindsight also is in form, and yeah, I think he's weighted quite well, and I think he also should definitely be included.
Excellent, thank you for that. So quite a bit of confidence we can get money early, race number 1. And then I've looked at it, and I like the horse in the second race, Tuscan Winter. I see they're priced up 13-10. So hopefully these all arrive for us as we go through them race by race. But I am going with Johan van Vuuren's horse and Gavin Loreen in the second. And then I'm taking the double into the one that Calvin and the guys like as well. That was Scott Adito, that filly 22-10. And again, it's 7-1 the stretch on those. So remember, it's every Friday night that you join us, and we thank you very much for all of your time, and especially to you, Calvin. We wish you well. It's great to have you on the show to have your talent, and you know, it's a pity with all of the COVID about. Otherwise, you go joining your mom and dad in Mauritius for a bit.
Yeah, look, thank you very much for having me. It's been an honor, and look, I always like to, when I'm racing, to watch the show. You know, it gives me a bit of insight on what everyone else is thinking, and you know, where the money is coming from, and just a little bit about the form, because I mean, jockeys ride their races sort of, you know, you look at the race card sort of to see where the race is going to be run, not who's going to win the race. So yeah, no, it's a good insight, and thank you very much for having me. Yeah, as you said, it would have been lovely to go to Mauritius, but you know, unfortunately it's out of our hands, and you know, mom and dad are enjoying their anniversary this weekend, so they having a nice holiday in Mauritius. So yeah, lovely to them. Yeah, happy anniversary to them, and once again, just thank you very much for having me.
Happy anniversary, absolutely. That's well done to them. And Darryl and Daryn, you know what the horse was that I think was Ikigai? Remember Ikigai?
Okay. Yeah.
Riverstown,
Clyde, I just want to ask Calvin something. With Lyle going to Japan, and we know the champion trainer Sean Terry loves you, Calvin. Are you going to be spending some more time there in the mornings when you get the green light to get back into the saddle?
Well, listen, it's a tough situation because Mr. Terry hasn't said anything to me, and I do ride for a very nice stable of the Fortunes, and I get a lot of support from everyone around there. But I do already go to Randkiesfontein twice a week, and I do ride a lot for Mr. Terry. I do a lot of work. So look, I'm just gonna let it all be in God's hands, and I'm just going to let him guide me in the right route, and whatever happens, I'll be happy with. But you just have to take everything as it comes, and I can't really say what's going to happen in the next couple of months. But yeah, I'm going to be going out there trying my best, and once I come back from my recovery, I'm mentally ready for it, and I want to be riding better than what I was before. So yeah, hopefully everything will go away.
Okay, so at the end of the day, thank you for that, Cal, and enjoy the break. I think that's the opportunity now, is to rest and take it easy and come back even stronger. There is also, just so that our viewers know, Darryl and of course Daryn will have studied the card, but hopefully not in vain at Kenilworth, because the weather's turned a bit again, and cold fronts hit, etc. I believe we're going to get it tomorrow and Sunday, but or Saturday, Sunday. Raining at the moment there, Daryn?
It's actually sunny today. Last night and the day before, well, yesterday was raining a lot, and then today's cleared up. So it'll be interesting to see what the penetrometer is going to be. It was, I think, 28 midweek. We did have a lot of rain yesterday. My standout bet on the card was actually Casimir. He's coming back fresh over 1,000 meters in I think it's a Pinnacle. And he looks, I think his class will carry him through.
Yeah, there are no issues with going with a horse like Casimir, whether it be soft or heavy, doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think it's currently 32, posted as heavy. And I like the look of, in the second race, a horse called Jam King. I know he's been costly to follow in the past, but when you're drawn down the inside at Kenilworth and you got a little bit of a racing experience on your side, I think he's got enough ability to break out the maidens come tomorrow.
Excellent. Gem King and Casimir, maybe another double. There's a lot of activity between Calvin, Darryl, Daryn there. A lot of horses on the table. And we're going to have to consider tomorrow. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about opinions, and it's about, for us, Weighted to Win, just guiding you and getting you into that winning queue. But thank you very much, all of you, for your time once again. And we trust that our viewers will take the card, study it themselves as well, and then go play with confidence and collect the cash.
Clyde, the next show you must wear sunglasses.
Yeah, I see sun is setting. I'm sitting in the wrong spot. Sitting in the wrong spot. It's got me now, but you're right. I can see. I'm trying my best to get off the screen. Thank you very much, everyone. Hey?
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
Calvin.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.